about it was obviously the shock of it and leaving Dallas, but another thing was you left behind a really good team that had just gone to the finals. Having seeing your new team play at a level like this tonight, how does that hit you about its potential, this group's potential moving forwards, even in the immediacy, not just big picture right now?
Yeah, I think our goal is not. I know our goal is to win championship. And that's our only goal, and I think we have the team for that.
Hey, what is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, Just Simply Sports. Here with me, I am Kaja, and if you are new, welcome. Please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're not new, you've been here, I appreciate you. You guys, we need to just talk for a second because I feel like some of you, along with some of these TV analysts, need to just pump the freaking brakes when it comes to the Lakers. I know they had a great win against the Nuggets on Saturday, but it was one against the Nuggets, you guys. One. They barely beat them. Can we just chill, take it easy?
So the reason, James, I'm not convinced yet, but the reason you could sell me on the Lakers being an actual legitimate championship team is because Austin Reeves is continuing to progress. Austin Reeves thing is the question mark. Yeah. How the hell he was going crazy in the regular season, then in the playoffs, it's like he ain't playing defense, and it's like they target him where he's at, and then on offense, he ain't scoring them high clips. To me, they are championship ready. And they championship ready because they got two of the best players in the world that make everybody around them better. And Shady, I think that's what's different now. AR-15 ain't got to do all this with the ball and all that stuff. Oh, my bad. Austin Reeves, he ain't got to do all that stuff with the basketball. You have two dudes at any given moment that make everybody around you better. That's number one. Number two, who in the West scaring you? The OKC Thunder, the best team right now. They're not scaring nobody. Extremely young. They got in the playoffs last year and did not play well. Who's scaring you? Mm-hmm. So right now, if you said the Lakers and the OKC Thunder is in the Western Conference Finals, who are you taking?
Are the Lakers championship ready? And the answer is too soon to tell. That's the honest answer. It's too soon to tell. Let's not forget how stacked the West is. I mean, honestly, aside from OKC being like way ahead, every other team is so bunched up. You can't really count anybody out. Each team is like maybe 2 or 3 games out from being in the second place, third place, fourth place, being in the last place. Well, not all the way last because the Pelicans and Trailblazers are a whole different story. Nevertheless, most of the teams are in the play-in spot, and then from the play-in to the actual playoff spots, it's not that far and few in between. So I'm not gonna say today because they had one great win against the Nuggets that yes, they're championship ready, but I do feel like they're on their way to building and being a top contender in the West. You're never gonna count any team out that has LeBron and Luka, right? That would just be foolish. And a lot was said in that clip I just showed you. Now, for me, AR is a concern, AR-15, whatever you want to call them, but not for the same reasons that Shady said. I'm not worried about AR in the playoffs because I don't see where he drops off or disappears in the playoffs from what I've seen. Maybe I'm watching a different game than you guys. Let me know in those comments if I'm wrong. But for me, the concern is when the playoffs roll around, Luka is very, very ball dominant. And for me, Luka and AR are not far and few between in terms of the kind of players, right? They play pretty much the same position. They do the same things. They're scoring, they're assisting. They're not really both big on defense. Now, I will say AR is a hustler. He will try to play some defense. He's not the kind of player that's just going to stand there and watch you go past him, right? But defensively, I wouldn't consider him a two-way player. So when Luka is ball dominant and he's putting up all those shots because he does take a lot of shots, what is AR doing respectfully? That's my concern. I feel like not right now, I said it before. At some point, as Luka starts to really get back to being Luka and being who we know he can be, especially when the playoffs roll around, my concern is how does AR fit in with Luka and LeBron? Because as we all know, when D'Lo was there, AR was inconsistent, like he had some good nights, some not so good nights. Him and D'Lo were kind of going back and forth, right? D'Lo's gone. Now AR is like stepped up. We see him scoring 40 points, I think a career high, 30 points, 25 points, his assists went up. I was like, wow, look at AR, D'Lo leaving really allowed for him to really show what he's capable of, and especially being consistent, and then when AD was hurt, you got to see more from him. So that was great. But now that you have Luka there, there's a part of him that's going to have to take a bit of a backseat. He's not the first option. That's what Luka is. So everything has to fit around Luka. And that's not what he's used to doing, or at least the past few games. And I'm wondering when the playoffs roll around and Luka rolls back around to being Luka, then what happens and how does AR fit in? Now, defensive wise, to me, I feel like they still need some depth, okay? Because LeBron is older, and I know I'm tired of hearing it myself. He's 40, he's 40, he's 40. I get it, he's older, but he's still playing at a high level. But the reality of it is that he is older. So playoffs roll around. I don't think and in the playoff situation that they have enough depth on that bench for LeBron to be able to sit out, and get a couple of breaks here and there. Vando, to me, is inconsistent. He's great for defense, but he doesn't really score a lot, right? Jackson Hayes, for me, he's really coming along, you know what I mean, in terms of defense. I see him really trying to step in to try to fill that AD role. Obviously, he's not filled it completely. He is not Anthony Davis, but I will give him an A for effort, and I see him trying. He's stepping it up, and you can't ask any more from that. Or you can ask from somebody really and truly who's not as skilled is to give their best effort, and I feel like he is doing that. I like Rui. But to me, Rui is not strong enough to me consistently where I'm going to say, okay, the Lakers have LeBron, Luka, AR, Rui, Vando, Jackson Hayes, who else? Gabe to me, back and forth. Who else on that bench? Bronny, if you're going to put him in there. Who else is on that bench? You guys, they have quite a few players. There's some who are not coming to mind right now. Got to connect, but when you think about the other teams in the West, right? Now, let's go to Nuggets for an example. You guys can feel differently if you do. And if you do, let me know in those comments. But to me, the Nuggets do not normally look like that. Now, I will give the Lakers kudos and JJ. Shout out to JJ. He has been a great first-time head coach. I think obviously for me, he should be a candidate for Coach of the Year. Just what he's done with LeBron, with Luka, all the different changes that's been thrown at him. Thought to connect being traded. No, psych, he's coming back. You know what I mean? April Fools, here he comes back. So I will give him, kudos for that. I think he's done a phenomenal job, especially for someone who doesn't have any experience being, an NBA coach. But the Nuggets are still a championship contending team. Let's not act like, or forget, should I say, that the Joker is literally a walking triple double. Like on any given night, like he's gonna give you consistently for years now, over 25 points, over 15 rebounds, the 12 assists, you know what I mean? So looking at him Saturday, to me, he looked like he was just worn out and just tired. Now, credit to the defense for wearing him down, wearing him out. But as a whole, the Joker's one part of it. There's a Joker. You have Jamal Murray. You have Aaron Gordon. Russell Westbrook has been doing good. Michael Porter Jr. is in there. You got Christian Braun, Peyton Watson. The list goes on and on. You got Julian now. They have a lot of pieces. So for me, for everybody to be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Look at the Lakers. Yes, they look great. I get it. But this was a great win. And like I said, I think when you have wins like this, it makes for a feel-good locker room, right? You feel good. You're excited. You beat the Nuggets. You know what I mean? You just got to keep building on it. And as you should feel good because a win is a win. But the Nuggets had a very uncharacteristic game. If you watch it from beginning to end, the Nuggets never looked like that bad. To me, they were tired, they were worn out, all the different turnovers, and even with that, the game didn't really get too far out of hand. I think they pretty much stayed within 9 or 10 for the most part throughout that game. Maybe they got to about 13, 15, but they didn't really take over till like late in that fourth quarter. It wasn't like they were just blowing them out by 50, 60 points. You know what I mean? So you take away some of those turnovers, you have a completely different game. You have a winnable game. You need to pump the brakes sometimes. I feel like we just see one good win and we just hop on it. You know what I mean? Like, let's relax. Let's relax, people. It's not a 7-game playoff series. You know what I mean? If the Lakers keep playing like this defensively, number one defense right now, I believe, for the past, couple of weeks, which is great for them because we were talking about their defense being a liability before. But I feel like we need to stop counting out the Memphis Grizzlies. We need to stop counting out the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know they're young, and to me, I don't feel like they're ready for a championship yet. I feel like they're like maybe 1 or 2 pieces away. You know what I mean? I think more so in terms of experience. For me, watching OKC, I get the Boston Celtics a few years ago when the Warriors beat them. I say that because I feel like they had the pieces there like they have now, but I feel like it was the experiences of getting there and losing, and then almost getting there again and losing to the Heat, that kind of really built the chip on their shoulder that they had last year. It allowed them to really know what it feels like to get there and lose, and some things I feel like just come with experience and maturity. And I feel like there's a certain amount of maturity and experience they need to get playoff wise that'll really carry them over in the next few seasons to win a championship. I do see it happening. I don't think it's this season, but let's not underestimate them. Like, I don't know about this. Well, I'm not scared of them. Like, I don't think you need be scared of anybody because the West is so stacked. But I will say, I think I heard Steph say that, a healthy, amount of a healthy amount of not fear, but it's a healthy amount of what's what I'm looking for, you guys. I can't think of it right now. It'll come to me and I'll put it in the comments someplace. For me, you never underestimate anybody. I always say if you can get in, you can win. And as the Lakers are showing, and JJ spoke about it, a few months ago, when you play with effort and you really want something and you're really giving your best, and it's not just you, it's the entire team, it really makes for a hard competitive game. Okay, say what you want about Miami Heat. The reason that they got there more than one time with Jimmy, with all the undrafted players, so to speak, was because they are dogs and they're willing to fight. At the time, they all buying into Coach Spo, to the Miami Heat culture, locker room, whatever else they have going on in that organization, and it worked. It wasn't about them being the most skilled or the most talented compared to other teams, because you would still say Boston was a more talented team if you look at the roster. But watching those games, it was a different story. When you are strong-willed and everybody has the same will to win, you can be anybody, really and truly, on any given day. Like, it's a 7-game series. A lot can happen. People get hurt, so we'll have to wait and see. But for me, we should just pump the brakes, you guys, with the Lakers. I get it. You guys are excited. It's the Lakers. It's LeBron. But respectfully, even my Warriors, I know everybody's like, oh my God, look at the Warriors, right? Jimmy Butler is adding a new dynamic to the Warriors, and that he is. I'm a Warriors fan. I'm excited. And Draymond said we're going to win a championship this year. He threw us out there to the wolves. So now they have to deliver on that. Otherwise, it's going to look crazy in the playoffs if they don't. But even then, even now, it still takes time. They have a lot more, climbing to do, because they're further down than the Lakers, right? And then Kuminga's getting ready to come back. So, like to say, sometimes you just pump the brakes and just woosah and just see what happens. We still have quite a few more games to go, you guys. So, Lakers, they can get in, they can definitely win, but are they going to win today from seeing them beat the Nuggets one time, respectfully? Let's just chill. What do you guys think, though, about the Lakers? Do you see them win a championship this year? Let me know in the comments, and of course, I'll see you next video.